everyone, Nanaya Fakoya-Smith here, aka Ajala Nene, and we're here for the Tourism Virtual Summit. Today, we're talking about a topic I feel is very important for every person in the tourism industry, and that is tour planning and transportation in Nigeria. How it's going to help businesses and tourism business in Nigeria. And today we have no other than Chima. Hello, Chima. How are you?
Hello, Nene. Hi, I'm fine. I'm good.
All right. Please tell us more about yourself.
Okay. I'm Chima. I'm a co-founder with Remove Technologies. I've worked for a couple of years, and January this year, we sort of officially kicked off Remove Technologies. Right? I used to work as the head of communication at VConnect before I went into the direction of entrepreneur, other co-founders, and a couple of other team members. So about Remove Technologies, right?
Yeah, you could go ahead. Tell us more about it.
Remove Technologies is it's a software development firm, right? Software startup focused on transportation as its core. So the same way you have the agro-tech, you have the fintech, you have all of the others, right? We are more focused in transport technology. But unlike the very common ones people are used to, right? We are not on demand, at least not at the moment. So request for a longer period of time. And usually, preferably, you request at least 24 hours before your needs arise. So we are more in terms of, we are more tuned to planning and execution like that. So other industries that we move cover is sort of, because of we have a wider range of vehicles beyond just taxis, right? Beyond just cars or sedans. We have, we offer trucks. We offer buses, coastal buses, hires buses. Even you can access BRT through the platform. So we cover agricultural sector, logistics, haulage, consumer goods, events, and of course, travel and tourism. So that's basically, that's like a brief of what the company is like. We started off with a simple website, right? Come and hire your vehicle. But over time, we've learned. Now we have like a SaaS tool for transportation companies, right, that partner with us. We registered about 300 plus vehicle owners, which gives us access randomly. These people have at least 3 vehicles each. So that gives us access to about 900 vehicles ready on demand, right? So SaaS tool, and then we progressed one step further. I'm sure as the conversation we'll get to understand where Planner comes in and how it applies.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
That's it about Remove Technologies.
All right, that's cool. That's different, and that's quite impressive.
Can you hear me there?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. That's quite impressive. It's nice to see something different in the transportation industry. So that's really nice. So now let's go straight to the other question. What is transportation tourism? I mean, I just found out about that term. What is it?
Okay. Yes. I know it's really interesting to look at, right? There are 2 concepts we could think of. There's transportation tourism, and then there's transportation in tourism, right? Transportation tourism has to do with curating the experience around the medium of transportation. Sort of an example of it is like you're going on a boat cruise, where the boat cruise, the transportation in itself is the tourism, right? You are going on this kayaking experience, you are going on sort of like a fishing experience and all those things, right? That's transportation tourism. But when you talk of transportation in tourism, that's when you approach transportation more like in terms of a value chain. right? Value chains like feeding, like security, like souvenirs, publicity, media, which of course you are into. Transportation can also classify as one of those value chain services. So I think it's dependent on how you choose to approach transportation. But it is clearly a core part of tourism.
Okay, thanks for that. At least now I know there's transportation tourism and there's transportation in tourism. Thanks for that clarification. All right, so the next question.
Yes.
Why is transportation important in the tourism industry? And how is WeMove involved in making it better for the tourism industry in Nigeria?
Okay, to think about how transportation influences tourism, right? The first thing to think about is what inspires or what incites tourism, right? There's just one word that qualifies it. That one word is experience. People want to feel something different from what they are used to. They want to feel something different from the norm around them, right? They want to go out of their space to experience something different, like a breath of fresh air. So based on this, the needs, an essential part of that change of environment is transportation. They need a vehicle to take them out of that space. And that's where WeMove technologies comes in. If you noticed, Lagos State supposed to be put what's it called? One of the most advanced part of Nigeria as it stands.
Yeah.
It's still stuck with the transportation system that was put in place in the 70s, right? People are still used to the regular hustle. Let's go out and try to hustle the vehicle, try to batter the price, try to get one or two things done, maybe even roughen ourselves up with one or two people to get the best vehicle, the best price, and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's where WeMove comes. WeMove takes the hustle away from the vehicle hire so that with ease, right? Using technology, of course, with ease, you now get access to all of the vehicles you can need on the platform. So the same way you would plan, maybe when you're sitting, you're writing, you're contemplating, okay, how many people do I want to take on this tour? Give them one or two goodies to make them happy they came with me. How do I check out what the experiences are in those places where we are going to and all those things? In the same vein, right, you can also say, okay, how do I get vehicles? Which kind of vehicle do I need? And how do I compare prices with vehicles? How do I get the best price for vehicles? That's something that WeMove offers with technology. Remember I said we have like access to about 900 vehicles on the WeMove platform, right? That gives the opportunity for sort of like when your booking comes in, there's this pool of vehicle owners that the booking goes to. And these people, because they want to service you, they bid. Okay, that's right. Nice. And the bidding, natural market forces makes the prices come down because, of course, if I see this person is doing better than me, I want to top him up. Like I want to bring the price a little bit lower so that I get the job. So those are the things that WeMove platform offers using technology to ease that transportation process.
Okay.
A core part of this is changing people's behavior, actually.
Changing what?
So that's basically it. Changing people's behavior, changing the behavior of the masses from the hustle mentality to more coordinated approach using technology.
Okay. All right. Awesome. That's really nice. And it would be good for a lot of tourism businesses who are doing it into tours and packaging to use that platform to make it easier for them. Because that's one of the big issues that most tourism businesses, like especially tour operators, have, trying to get affordable buses to use. So yeah, that's a really awesome hack. All right. So the next question is this. What is the purpose of transport planning for tourism businesses, such as tour operating companies? Like I mentioned, a lot of tour operators use buses, for their group tours and all. So what is the purpose of transport planning for these tourism businesses?
Okay. There's if you are used to the normal service provision in the country, you realize that there's this express service. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, there's this thing they call express service.
Mm-hmm.
People are used to last minute hurry and all of that. Last minute hurry oftentimes tend to make the prices go up, which is not favorable. If you are a business person, you want to get the prices as low as possible so that you are making your margin, your profit margin is more. So transportation, what's it called? Transportation planning, from my own perspective, is more like putting the experience first, thereby setting up all of the parameters as regards transportation early enough. So there's this thing that I noticed in the industry where people have like a tour calendar.
Yeah.
So the tour calendar tells you, okay, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, this is how much business I should be doing. This is how much places I should be organizing trips to. I know that there are those times when people come and book for you, book for them to take them on tour out of the blues, right? That's okay. But then the tour calendar helps give the person a longer view, a clearer view of what the long term is. If you have that clearer view, the smart approach would be preparing in time for all the transportation that you need prior to that. If you, as you prepare early, you tend to get better pricing. You can tend to get the opportunity for people to put you into their schedule and give you better pricing. By default, right, transportation covers like 63 to 68% of the cost of most stores. So if it's that important in the process, it's something that needs to be figured out early enough. There are still other the driver who's supposed to be leading it, or the nature of the vehicle that would be carrying people. You don't want the vehicle breaking down and all these things. The kind of vehicle you even need. For example, there are those times when there are those times when you plan a tour for 30 people and you say, yes, I need a booster. Suddenly you are realizing that the people who are opting in for the tour is less than 30 and all of that, and you are realizing, okay, maybe I don't need a booster, maybe I need a Hiace, a smaller vehicle with 14 people instead. And there are other times when you plan for a Hiace and a lot of people are interested in this tour, and you want to change the vehicle and all those things. You don't want to do those things in the last minute, right? So you want to be pre-booked before your tour, before it gets to the rush hour and all of that. That's how transportation planning comes into the tourism business. Remember, the earlier you plan, the higher your chances of making making profits. Several other things influence the transportation planning, including itineraries. Where are the places you want to get to? Taking note that at different locations you are getting to, the nature of transportation within those places, the terrain of those places influence what kind of transportation you should be using in those places. Some of those things are things you want to be familiar with. Some of those things are things you want to know. What's the capacity of the vehicle I'm even looking for? What other resources might I be needing? Do I need to move them from where I am to the tour locations, or do I need them available at the tour location? If you are moving those things, you need the vehicle to be able to accommodate them and not inconvenience your tourists. Looking at that, all of these points back to that one word, experience. If you plan your tour properly, if you plan your vehicle hire properly, you can control the experience that people have beforehand, right? When you rush it, you could get into unpleasant situations and all these things. And I'll chip in a little bit about we move and the planner and how that comes into play, right? In this, many people have their jotter. Many people have their notebook. That's where they write out all these things and try to plan it on the notebook.
Yeah.
That's like 1960, if you ask me. Because plan as a tool now gives you the opportunity for you to see all of that in a in a spread out calendar interface, right? And not just seeing all of your plant store, you also have quick access to resources that you need for those things. And it's as you are adding up the resources, using the resources part to make communications to find out, okay, who do I call for this? Who do I call to sort of publicize? Who do I call to what else did I even mention? To print out my souvenirs, or where do I get like that's
all the itineraries you need for a tour package, every resource. That's what you need, right?
Yes, yes. All of those things is now right in front of you. You are doing it and you are not even standing up from your seats. So that's basically how planning the transportation now comes into play as regards the experience you offer for your tour.
Okay, so so you're saying this planner is on WeMove platform, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. All right. That's nice to know. So how can people come on board? I mean, how can people come on board to actually use the platform?
Okay, by default, everybody who has an account on www.wemove.co has access to like a dashboard. The dashboard at the moment is sort of shows you how many vehicles you've hired, right? Something really interesting just came to my mind, but then I'll explain it a little bit later.
Okay.
So the dashboard is available to everybody who signs up on wemove.co. So once you have an account there, you have access to the dashboard. So anybody can set up their plans, their arrangements using the dashboard. Everybody have access to all of the resources for free.
Okay.
The only place where payment comes in is if you are using the platform to promote and sell tickets, right? There's a percentage charge for each ticket that each seat pass. However, different.
Okay, that's
where there's a percentage pay, but usually that's right.
Okay, that's nice. That's very nice. So guys, if you're hearing now and you need somewhere to at least have a platform to build your tours and you need transportation, WeMove people are the best people to go to. All right, to the next question.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so the next question is this. What is tour planning? I mean, what's a tour plan? And how can one organize a proper tour package?
Okay, it's interesting, right? I'll start with this cool definition.
Okay, go ahead.
Tour planning is a dynamic process of determining goals, systematically selecting alternative courses of action to achieve those goals.
So you can see my eyes stunning, like, whoa, like seriously, this is
that's a lot of English, right?
I beg, break it down so people understand.
Okay, it's simply just putting together the right thing, putting the right thing in place to ensure a safe, smooth, and effective store experience, right? So if you have everything you need in place and everything moves according to plan, right? Your experience is top notch. That's basically what store planning is, right? So to organize
a proper tour package.
So to organize a proper tour, you simply need a tool. Can you excuse me then?
Okay.
Excuse me. Okay. All you need is planner. Finish. That's basically it. So I think we are done with the question.
You're not serious. What do you mean a single planner? What is a planner? I mean, people are watching you and they need to understand. When you say you just need a planner, some people are not good with plans. So what kind of planner are you talking about?
Okay, actually, you need a tool. You need a tool that you use that aids you to schedule properly, schedule your itineraries, gives you access to all of the resources. You know those things where you have to go like from this block to this block to this block to go and check, okay, how many drops of water are in Erin Jesha, for example. Don't mind me, I'm being sarcastic, but you get my point.
Yeah.
There are this you need somewhere that you can easily access all of those information without all of the running around. You need somewhere where you can easily get access to, okay, vehicles, what kind of vehicles do I need? How much would this vehicle cost me from this place to the location I'm going to? You need a tool that gives you access to, I see something a lot of people do is if you want to go for this store, call my number, kind of a thing, to reach out to me. You really don't need that, right? Put up your description, it's simple, you get a link. The link you send to everybody, they can see your description, they see what the tour is about, and they can opt in, right? Just click on the link and opt in, make payment, and you are good. And as they are opting in, you are getting access to all of their data. So you now have sort of like a data-enabled business where everybody who did business with you throughout last year, you have a very good profiling of them, so that if you have a plan for this year, you can easily just push it to them again. Right? That's something that you really need. And not just getting that data, you want all these things. It's not, okay, if I forget to call, let's assume 25 people opted in for my tour, and I call 20 people and I feel like, okay, I'm done. I think I've reached out to everybody. And say like the day, 2 days before the tour, someone's calling you, hello, are we still going on that tour or something? And you're like, oh my God, I missed out on you or something like that. You want all of these notifications sent out automatically. This is the tour, they get notification. Opting for my tour, they get notification. You've opted in successfully, they get notification. It's 1 week to the tour, they get notification. These are what you require to bring for the tour, they get notification. You want a system that organizes all of these things. So basically that's what you need to plan, right? There are many other ways people sort of try to scramble around these things manually. I don't think it's something we should be doing in 2018, right? And owing to industry data that would probably be considering, the industry is not very large. If you ask me, I'll say the size of the industry and the growth of it is highly dependent on some of these things that I've identified. These seemingly minor things, but seeking out efficiency from all described as top planning, proper top planning. And guess what?
What?
Planner. Planner settles it.
So are you saying that? Like yes, I can see that you like planner. So are you saying that you guys have a planner for this kind of thing on your website?
Yes, yes. And everybody who has an account on remove.co has access to it.
Okay.
And you know what's more interesting? Over time, as we discuss further, I'll probably explain to you why I feel really excited about Planner.
Okay, no problem. You will, because you really like planners. All right. So the next question is this, and it's actually like our last question. Now, you guys recently did a survey, which I was part of, right? I remember I'm part of
Yes.
it. The topic was understanding the Nigerian travel and tourism industry better, right? So now, please, can you share more information on your findings and your suggested solutions?
Okay, I think what's important to look at is why do people hire vehicles, right? People don't just hire vehicles because they like how it sounds. They hire vehicles because they want to use it for one purpose or the other. In this case, we are considering people who hire vehicles for tourism. And for this, that was the mental progression that we went through to decide, okay, who are the people who even come to the website to book for vehicles, among which we figured out tour organizers are. So we tried to say, okay, let's look into this industry a little bit more. What's going on in this industry? So we saw we saw some very interesting data, right, which includes how tourism sort of adds 1.9% of Nigeria's GDP at the moment. It sounds like a lot until you compare it with the 22% that agriculture is adding and the 18% that industrialization and all of that is adding. So you now realize, oh, that's really small. Yes, they are projecting that it would grow to like 2.5 between the end of this year and early next year. But all of that is just projection. Projection tends to be like hopeful, wishful thinking most of the time, especially if strategic actions are not being taken.
Yeah.
And something else to also look at is it also includes what's it called, adds to 1.8% of employment rate. But then the problem with this is the employment is not directly into tourism, right? These are aggregated figures from other industries that are indirectly tied to tourism, like hotel, like airline, like a couple of all these other things. So if you really look at it like that, you figure out that even tourism has a lot smaller margin than all of these numbers that we are looking at, which is not interesting. And even to go further, right, the expenditure in tourism, up to 93% of it is international. So local tourism has just 7% of all this. So it's, it's sort of people place the number lower, right? Pointing to the fact that tourism in Nigeria is a budding industry. It's still very, very small. So we looked at this thing and then decided, okay, let's follow this Alex Osterwalder's approach to his lean canvas approach to business development and all those. That's what inspired the 3-part survey. The first part was this problem survey, then the solution survey that we had after it, and then the product market fit. That which is, I would say, it's currently going on with Planner. And this brings me to why I'm really excited about Planner, right? I'm excited about Planner. I'm excited about Planner because of all of the, permit me to say, amazing minds that went into these surveys, right? The likes of Sam, Pelu, Fumi, Jade Sola, Sikemi, like about 30-something people, 30-something practicing like professionals. Even Joe of Monster Tribe in Abuja, Al-NFR, also contributed to this survey at different points of it. So these are people who are really inside of the industry telling us, okay, this is what the problem of the industry is. Something really interesting. I did a hypothesis before I came out to make inquiries, right? My hypothesis was, let me sit down and figure out what I think the problem of the industry is. I was able to come up with 8 challenges. And I was like, wow, 8, that's a lot. I really thought I couldn't add a 9th one. I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, after the problem survey, we successfully arrived at 46 challenges facing the industry. So that's the difference between when people who are really experienced in an industry contribute to it and when someone else outside of it contributes to it. Some of these challenges include, okay, government, infrastructure, behavioral responses to different parts of the tourism, bad roads, poorly developed location. But then we looked at it, what are those things, those parts of it that we can influence that, right? So we sort of picked that and grouped them into 3 parts.
Okay.
We grouped them into tour guide challenges, we grouped them into location challenges, and we grouped them into the service value chain challenges. Take note, inside of all of these groups, there are like, say 10 to 12 accumulation of different problems. So based on these 3 things, we sort of thought about it. What system can be built that solves these 3 things? That solves location, that solves what's it called? Service value chain, and then solves tour guides challenges. That's what brought about Planner as it stands. So for tour challenges, you have the resources part. Location tour challenges, you have the resources part. Service value chains. There you can see, for example, Nenewa is listed as a media personnel you can reach out to while you are planning the tour. So while you are on this side of it, creating the schedule, you can easily click to the next tab and see, okay, this is who I should call to promote my tour. This is who I should call to be my, let's assume I'm going to Aduawaye, for example. This is who I should call to be my local guide at that destination. I can call here for Badagry. I can call, what's his name? Sorry, I'm trying to get people's name right now. I can call different people for different locations, right?
Yeah. That's really cool.
And for different services. So that's sort of the way that we built up into developing Planner as a tool. And that's, like I said, that's why I really got excited about it.
And it's quite interesting.
That's
it's quite interesting because I've seen a lot of that with international platforms. They like recently, my sister and I were planning like a tour to somewhere in Europe, and we don't really know anyone there. But I just went online and I just typed, okay, how to plan a tour to Europe. And I got like almost like 100 websites that show you how to do they will embed the accommodation, the transportation, and the tours. So they also make it very cheap for you. So by the time you now package everything in the planner, it's cheap than if you call someone to do it one by one. So I can see we move platform like that for at least our domestic tourism industry, which is really very cool because that's one of the biggest problems a lot of tour operators are having. How to factor everything together and make sure everything is done well. And for me, if you're not an organized person, you can actually get confused when you're trying to package a tour. So
it can get really confusing.
Very confused. So I like what WeMove is doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing the platform. And also, like, who knows, when I decide to maybe do one package or two packages, I can use you guys too. So well done. You guys are doing very well.
That would really be amazing. There's the challenge part. Huh?
Okay, that's a challenge.
There's a challenge part though. Yeah. There's a point where I mentioned. Yes. There's a point where I mentioned earlier where the behavioral aspect of tourism needs to change. That part cannot necessarily be done with technology, and that's why I like this, what Come Make We Go is doing, right? If there's the need
Maybe
for
that's how
a bridge, build
David.
a bridge. Or yes, David Atama, that's the name I was trying to remember. So that's why I like what he's doing too. If there's a need for a bridge, teach people how to build a bridge, right? There's the part where everybody say, no, the government have not done this, the government have not done this. But there's that community development, right? That collective effort that is necessary. And I'll do a little bit of explanation of it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you go individually to request for a vehicle, at the best, you will get like a minor waiver of the charges because it's just you. Even at the best, at your best, there's just a number of tours you can organize as an individual company. But if there's a collective effort, and this is something else we move is targeting, we are looking at creating the platform where there would be a collective effort. Where if one person plans 5 tours in this month, and imagine 10 people plan 5 tours in this month using Planner, that's like 5 times 10, that's 50 tours. We can present these 50 tours collectively to the vehicle companies and tell them, here we have 50 tours, you have to take your price down because we are offering you 50, right? But if each of these people go individually, the best they can get is just, okay, like a few percentage decrease in the price, which makes them feel good. Well, I'm making this a little bit extra. But if we go together, there's that big slash because, well, a business-minded partner, transportation partner, would want to take all 50 of them, even if he's significantly taking down the price. And that's a way we tend to look at it. Which brings me to the last part, the approach we are taking to do this, right? Is this the last question?
It's the last question.
Okay, so I think I should mention the promo a little bit.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes,
okay.
Please do.
So the promo, we move considering the collective effort of a community as opposed to the individual effort of 1 or 2 people trying to make money or trying to make a business out of this. We are looking at incentivizing tourism as it stands. So by the time you'll be watching this, our promo would be up, right? The promo will be the trip, and the promo would look at getting everybody who is willing to organize a tour using the guidelines that would be stipulated, right? We'll stand a chance to win some interesting prizes in the industry. We are getting more familiar with the industry, getting more people looking in the direction of of tourism. So if more people are looking at it, how you would imagine it is just like a computer village. If I set up a technology store on my street, I might sell, but compared to the people who sell in computer village, I'm probably joking, right?
Yep.
So then that collective effort almost always pays in every industry. We are looking at setting up that collective effort in tourism. So as a part of this, I'll be including the link to join in the community. So it's a Slack, it will be a Slack community. So you join in the community. In that community, for everyone who joins in the community, there's now that communication that comes forward from staff of We Move Technologies that will guide you as to what you need to do to enter into the trip challenge, or should I call it promotion? Or what I don't know what the word is. So we'll guide you through that. We'll also offer help, suggestions. If you need help as regards any part of the tourism business, because the target actually for this is entry level tour operators.
Yeah.
Let's assume the older people already have a way they are doing it. Those people who are coming in afresh, they need help. They need guidance.
Very true.
Being a part of that Slack community would professionals as per service along the service chain to offer some kind of help, to offer some kind of guidance. That won't be a problem at all. We'll bring those people in, we help them, guide them through the system of planning the tour. And of course, you are planning a tour, you are going to have fun at the tour location. They are planning a tour, they are making money from it because of course, they are planning it as a business, right? And then besides making money from it, there's a handsome reward for 3 people, 3 of the, what's it called, people who meet the criteria as the winners, right? There'll be a handsome reward for those people. So, man, that's, if that was what I was offered to go to nursery school, I think I would have made all of my all of my village proud.
Thank you so much, Chima. By the way, guys, the link, I'm going to put it under his video so you can join the Stack group. He has already sent me the link. I'll put the link there for you guys to watch. Chima, thank you so much. I mean, this was very educative. I didn't know that, I know transportation is important, but I didn't know it had this in-depth effect on the tourism industry and tourism business. So thanks a lot for breaking it down for us. Really appreciate. And I hope you guys learned enough from him too, because I did. Thank you so much. All right then. Okay then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for coming around.